What's up, YouTube? Just chilling out, hanging. Looks like someone owes me 20 bucks. Just chilling out. Don't have any alcohol, and that's just fine. I do have like a little bit of Red Bull left in my cup. 1 second. Peach edition. Yummy. So it's been a hot minute since I've done a response to Isaac Butterfield, the Buttsman. Good day, you crazy motherfuckers. So, fuck suicide on the real note. There are some women who don't think very highly of men. For one incel piece of shit male, there's at least 4 women who hate men. That's just how it is.
G'day, you good motherfuckers.
That being said, fuck suicide, man. If you're a fan and you feel depressed, reach out to me and I'll talk to you, you know, talk you through it. It ain't worth it, dude. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
My name's Isaac Butterfield, and I tell you what, if you've spent any time on the internet, you know that hate speech is everywhere. Now, what?
No, hate speech? All the trolls getting mad at me for saying the F word, calling me a homophobe. It's like, I refer to that as the British term for cigarettes because I smoke trolls like I smoke my cigarettes. That's why I call my trolls that word. However, they call me a fucking retard, and then they want to get mad at me and call me an asshole. It's like, man, look who's talking, man. Two-way street, dude.
Everywhere is because everything's hate.
And if you automatically take it as homophobic when I'm not referring to it as a homophobic slur, but rather a British cigarette, wouldn't that make you the homophobe?
Speech, okay? I have dealt with that my entire career on YouTube. Anytime you say anything.
That being said, fuck homophobia, fuck LGBTQ homophobic bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. As long as you ain't a sick fuck, who gives a shit?
Anything, you're full of hate speech. But I am positive that I have found some actual hate speech, some genuine hatred in there.
Like, I've been getting hated on for 10 plus years. That's why I don't go out of my way to hate on people.
Words that I believe needs to be called out fucking now. Honestly, these people are so violent with their words. They're so full of vitriol that it will take you back, maybe even take your breath away when you hear what these people have said. It's from Reddit and it's titled Murder, Suicides, and Men. The Reddit page is r/4th wave women, meaning 4th wave feminists.
4th wave feminism. Yeah. Just hanging out. Just goddamn slamming 2 peach Red Bulls. Let's do this shit.
Meaning they're going to be fucking psychos. And this is
feminism originally started as a movement for women to get equality to men on the basis of sex and gender, on the basis of female equality. Now that women in the Western world have the equality they want, now feminism has become a movement about hating men. And not all feminists are like that, man, so don't get it twisted. But these man-hating C-bombs are the reasons why we have incels. Society puts way too much pressure on men to have sex, and then men and women treat each other like shit. And whoop-de-doo, what do you know?
Disclaimer, we're not talking.
That's why suicide is fucked. Go fuck that shit, man. Sex is not a need, it's a want. And fuck suicide, dude. Fuck sick.
Every woman who believes that they're a feminist, that's not who we're talking about here. We're talking about the hardcore ones, the ones that have obviously had a...
Yeah, extremist feminists are just a delight. Let me tell you, it's like, jeez. Extremist feminists are the worst, dude. It's like, goddamn, who fucking hurt you? Whose balls do we gotta step on?
Bad interaction with a...
You know how it is. You try to hold the door for an extremist feminist, and she'll get offended. You're trying to be polite and civil, and she's just like, I don't need your help to hold the door. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. Jeez. You were just trying to stare at my ass. You men are all the same. It's like, I was just trying to be polite, but okay.
Or men, and now have written off an entire...
The same women that get pissed off at dudes They're sitting on a bus like this, just sitting there, minding their own business, sitting there texting, and then some chick will walk by, like, staring at their junk, like, stop manspreading. Excuse me? You're sitting there manspreading, oppressing us with your balls. And it's like, bro, I'm just trying to sit comfortably. If your tits were between your fucking legs, you wouldn't be going like this. No, you'd be spreading them too. Fuck off. Now, next time you have a chick tell you that to quit manspreading, you give her that classic line, hey, honey, my eyes are up here. Unless I can take you out for a bite to eat, quit staring at my junk.
Gender as a bad group of people, evil people, vile.
What happens when you walk up to a woman and say, quit slut spreading? Oh, she would hate that, wouldn't she, ladies? It's a hot, hot, hot summer's day. And you don't have a bra on because you don't want boob sweat. So you wear a nice low-cut shirt. Gonna let your girls breathe. But what if some guy started staring at your tits and getting all offended and saying, oi, quit slut spreading, you skank? You'd fucking hate it. Golden rule, ladies and gentlemen, do unto others as you'd have done to you.
people who cannot be trusted. Men, let's dive deep into this shit. Here we go. Men die from suicide at a higher.
So the article that Isaac Butterfield is reading was written by, you guessed it, some angry woman bitching to the internet about how much she hates men. Shocker, want to sniff it? No.
Rape than women. Of course,
I tend to think, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but these women, y'all need to get laid more than I do. God damn. The lack of dick in your life has made you so bitter and angry towards men. The dick that you have gotten has treated you like shit, and now it's the whole gender's fault. Fuck you. Fuck you. You let society dictate your emotions as a woman, telling you that all women want is assholes. And by the time you realize you have a good guy in your life, that dude's already got someone, man. Fuck.
all aware of that because in a male-centered universe.
Oh my God. So men die from suicide at a higher rate than women. Fuck suicide. Of course, we are all aware of that because in a male-centered universe, that's how you know it's one of them. Feminazis, feminazi cunts. Male lives matter more. Even when men independently choose to end their lives, women are supposed to drop everything, including the uphill battle of fighting for rights of women in order to center men and prevent their suicides. Look, let me just tell you how it is. Nobody gives a fuck about men. That's why they have higher suicide rates. Fuck suicide, dog. Women and men are placed in a fucking society that pins the genders against each other. Women and men also get placed in the same society that restricts their full potential and then gives men more power while at the same time not giving a fuck about them. Okay? And then they hit the start button, watch what happens. Now you got women who have realized their full potential, they have more rights, and now all of a sudden they want a taste of that sweet revenge. Like, hey, the last several hundred years have sucked for these people. So, and I'm like, two wrongs don't make a right.
Lives matter more.
As far as I'm concerned, like in society's concerned, men, I'm joking, of course, but men were only good for a couple things: going to war, fighting and dying for our country, fixing cars, and hiding our emotions. You can't build a log cabin and fix a goddamn car and fix the house and hide your emotions. They call you a bitch.
Even when men independently choose to end those lives, women are supposed to drop.
So here's what ends up happening. You get these fucking incel pieces of shit who treat women like crap because women have treated them like crap. And because those men treat women like crap, you get these feminazi cunt bitch whore slag fucking gutter slut cunt whores who hate men, and the cycle never fucking ends, dude. It never fucking ends. At some point, it's just like, you feminazi cunts, you incels, knock your shit off. You two get together and fuck like jackrabbits. Make love, not war. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Everything, including the uphill battle of fighting for the rights of women in order to center men and prevent their suicides. If that is not the most passively aggressively painful shit paragraph I've ever read, I would be absolutely shocked to the core, ladies and gents. That is so fucked.
Could you imagine though if like a dude wrote an article like this about a woman's period? Oh, that motherfucker would be canceled so quickly.
Imagine how damaged that individual is to say that. Oh, why do we have to worry about your suicides? What about us and our rights? You don't
Stop making suicide about gender and start preventing it. Fuck off, you dumb cunts. Fuck suicide for that matter.
Need to battle for rights, lady. You have all of them. You fucking idiot. You've had them all.
Whereas the same woman, when it's being attacked on the man, don't make it about gender, you guys. It's not about gender. You guys are being so gender inclusive. Don't hear a fucking word out of that side when it's the other way around, right? Shit.
For a long time. Fucking shut the fuck up and get a hobby. Obviously, this is a deeply troubled individual and doesn't represent all feminists, but
thank God all feminists aren't like this.
Their brain has connected so much toxicity, anger, everything.
Like, it's not only toxicity from their personal life, the toxicity from society, social media. Society brainwashes and dictates and doctrines our language to deliberately separate us rather than to unite us. So instead of being like, oh, hey, you're a guy, you're a girl, who gives a fuck as long as you ain't a sicko, whatever, right?
A word you can come up with to men. And this is their way of spilling it out into their Reddit forum, which is full of other women who believe exactly the same thing. It's like a virus that grows through this shit. It's like a female version of incel. It's fucking weird. She goes on.
Female version of incels? You goddamn right, it's weird.
But what about the murder-suicide?
You know how they say anything a man can do, a woman can do better? Well, they ain't shitting you on that one. I know I kind of contradicted and said the opposite a couple of videos ago, but when you got 6 million women on TikTok screaming hashtag kill all men, nobody says shit. They just go, oh my God, that's so cute. They're all angry and pissed off. Some people are a little concerned, but for the most part, no one gave a fuck. No one took it as seriously. But could you imagine if 6 million dudes said that fucked up shit about women on TikTok? You'd never hear the end of it. You'd never hear the fucking end of it. These feminists would have their word bullets would be loaded, and they'd be ready to fucking mow down the patriarchy.
Seems to talk about those are committed by men over 90%.
Oh my fucking God. This article is just so insufferable, but we're going to continue with it. Doing a video response to Isaiah Butterfield's, these women think male suicide is a joke. It's disgusting. It really is. Because these are the same women who throw a bitch fit when men don't help them deal with their feminine issues. You know, like, hey, your woman is on her period. She's grouchy. So you cook the food for her, you know, fix her a hot bath with a pink bath bomb, some red rose petals, you know. She comes home from work just grouchy, hating all her female coworkers. It's that time of the month. While she's sitting in the pink bath bombed bath water with red rose petals and massage oils, make her a clay mask and cucumber slices, man. You know, pamper her a little bit. If she says, give me space, give her space. And ladies,
suicidal men.
Stop sending your man to go to the store to get you pads. Just stop it. Okay, because, man, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, you know? Like, what's the deal with that? Your girlfriend's on her fucking period. She doesn't want to go out in public because she feels disgusting. So it's like, hey, And she'll look at you like, babe, could you go to Walmart for me? What do you want? Uh, I need some feminine products and some ice cream. Well, what kind of ice cream do you want? Can you get Ben and Jerry's chocolate brownie batter? It's one of those weeks, you know. Sure thing. You being the loving, caring man, fuck all this simp shaming, white knighting BS. You drive your ass to Walmart. You go in there. You get the products. You've seen them. You've seen what she has and what you know. So like you come home with the ice cream and the feminine products, and of course you got the wrong flavor and the wrong pads. So now she throws the ice cream against the wall, makes a huge mess, and now it's your fucking fault. The second you yell at her, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? You should have fucking texted me. And then it's don't yell at me. Right.
It's simply
That being said, fellas, patience is a virtue. All you can do is clean up the ice cream and be understanding that your girlfriend's going to be sitting on. Not every woman gets super emotional when they're having that time of the month. That's a stereotype, but how the fuck are you going to call women the fairer sex when the shit they go through is so unfair?
more dangerous than
That being said, that can also create a victimhood mentality, like in Amber Heard's case. Bitch who cried rape or domestic abuse. And then when there are women out there who really have gone through it, their perpetrator will try to use the Amber Heard case to get away with it. It's disgusting, our society.
suicidal women because he is far more likely to kill someone else.
So according to this article that this supposed woman wrote, but what about murder suicides? No one seems to talk about those are committed by men. Over 90% of the time, a suicidal man is simply more dangerous than a suicidal woman because he is far more likely to kill someone else when he kills himself. I call bullshit. Stop making it about gender. Like, you want to have this argument, and this next statement is to the lady who wrote this article. What if you have a woman who's on her fucking period and she's depressed because her entire life has been about fighting the patriarchy and fighting for rights against men. Her whole identity is about being a woman. And all of a sudden, men come in and completely erase that identity. So on top of dealing with her bitchy ass coworkers that she fucking hates. Now it's like if she tries to call out the unfairness of that whole movement, she gets called a transphobe. And now she's the asshole. It's kind of like when you see black people and then you see a transgendered black person, a white motherfucker who thinks he's black. Like transracial is a thing, and it's no, 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 no. Black people have been spending the last 600 plus years taking crap from white people, fighting for civil rights and equality, just to have the white man go, well, if they identify as black, they can now make themselves black, and that makes them a transracial. And if you don't fucking comply with their beliefs, you're a trans racist. Ain't that about a bitch, dude? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's exactly how it is, dude.
When he kills himself.
That being said, fuck mass shootings and fuck suicides.
Now, in America right now, there are 11 murder-suicides a week, which sounds like a lot, but makes up only 5% of the total homicides that happen, the total murders that happen per week in America.
Think about how much people care about you. If you got, okay, how would it feel, okay, if some asshole decided to murder someone you cared about, and then it was someone that did that, and then you cared about them, and they then self-deleted themselves? You'd fucking hate it. Like, fuck suicide and fuck murder, dude. How would you feel if someone you cared about committed a murder and then killed themselves? You'd be upset. How would you feel if someone died because someone did that and it was someone you cared about? Think about the golden rule, YouTube. And for Christ's sake, you got men and women bitching about the same thing on the dating scene. Fucking figure it out.
It's still
It's
two
not
men.
fucking rocket science. Women and men both bitch about the other side having standards. So it's like, okay, you stop standard shaming and get over it.
Obvious.
As long as you ain't a sick fuck, who cares?
But why are we conflating the death of men under circumstances like depression, anxiety, PTSD to men taking their lives?
Because it's the fucking truth. If a chick likes big cock and big muscles, no one's going to say, oh, you're a slut for liking those. But she gets called a slut as soon as she fucks the dude she likes. Whereas a dude, if he likes big boobs and a nice ass, fucking, he gets called a pig until he fucks her and he gets celebrated for it. Like, pound it, playa, you got some pussy.
Their families, women.
That
Children.
being said, that's not all women and men are into. That was just a basic, crude example to prove my point.
Why are we conflating the two? Are they not two different subjects? Surely you would think that. Why are we trying to hijack a topic?
You want to talk some real talk? Look at the way society raises boys and girls. Boys are raised to play with G.I. Joe dolls and toy guns, and even though toy guns can't necessarily do what real guns can, it's psychological. You know what I'm saying? Women are being handed plastic baby dolls to play with in the playhouse, which helps them conform to their stereotypical female gender roles. And then it's the same for men. Like, you're handing your little boy a G.I. Joe doll to play with while the girl's playing with a Barbie. And it's like, oh my God, it's so stupid.
That needs.
But the second a little boy plays with a Barbie doll in these modern times, everyone's got to question his sexuality, his gender, what does he identify as? And it's like, he's not even old enough to comprehend that. Seriously, our society is mental, dude.
Be spoken about and understood and investigated to the point where we can work out why. Why are we hijacking that topic and conflating it with murder? When we talk about male suicide statistics, why don't they address the murder-suicide statistics at the same time?
Because why don't they address it at the same time? Because murder and suicide are different. There's a big difference between taking your own life and taking someone else's life, but not much. And fuck murder and fuck suicide.
Why don't we talk about apples when we talk about oranges? They're two fucking different things, you fucking idiot. If
Well,
women
got me a Mountain Dew. I'll be right back. Feel the caffeine from that Red Bull starting to wear off. That's just how we Mountain Dew, man. Shoot, that's how we just do, you know.
were committed.
When we talk about male suicide statistics, why don't they address murder suicide statistics at the same time? If women were committing this number of murder, suicidal, and suicides and all that crap, suicidal women would be immediately institutionalized way quicker than men. Why doesn't anyone have a discussion about male suicide, touch upon male violence, blah, 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 yada, yada? Fuck off. You want to talk some real talk? Women get way less prison sentences than men do for the same asshole crimes. That's why the asshole in Scotland who raped a bunch of women at the last minute when he got arrested was like, hey, wait a minute. If he lies about being trans, not only will he get a shorter prison sentence, but he'll also get to be in a fucking goddamn female security prison with his dick still intact. But oh no, I say that and I'm a fucking transphobe, right? Fuck you. Okay, that's taking advantage of women and trans rights. It is. That's what it is, dude. Instead of siding with J.K. Rowling and going, well, that's actually a fair point. They jumped the gun and were like, oh my God, you guys. And they started calling J.K. Rowling a transphobe and everyone was canceling her, adding insult to hypocritical injury. They doxed her fucking address. And then at the same time, they love to preach and bitch about how we're sick and tired of getting bullied, you guys. Fuck you. you want to have a discussion about male violence, then why the fuck does society raise men to be violent and women to be bitchy? Society would like to raise men to be violent, emotionless pig assholes. And it also raises women to be vindictive, overly emotional, bitchy. Just, dude.
Number of murder suicides. Suicide
So that's why I'm saying don't let society doctrine the way you think. Think for yourself, damn it.
women would be immediately institutionalized.
And it wouldn't really, if a woman did all this crap, she would immediately be institutionalized. Bullshit. I'm pretty sure if anyone, okay, I'm so sick and tired of these feminazis going, it's not about gender as they proceed to make it about gender. Fourth wave feminism be like, stop making it about gender. Pink is not a girl's color, you sexist. And then yeah, and then shit like this, they make it about gender. It's like
Why doesn't any discussion of male suicide touch upon male violence? I mean, she makes a point. Why don't we talk about male violence? Oh, I know. We do. We do all the time. Constantly. All the fucking time. Men are thought of as violent, horrible people throughout social media and the mainstream media.
preaching to the choir, Isaac Butterfield. You know how women have their social stereotypes that define their gender, but it's all bullshit? Men have it too, ladies. Especially if you're a white, cisgendered, straight, of age male. People are now looking at you like you're the problem. And it's like, okay, I have no control how other people act. I can only control how I act and how I react to the way other people act. That being said, it's not my fucking fault because gays, blacks, and women were treated like crap. Okay? Fuck.
What? Because they have a penis. Anyone with a penis is seen to be a bad person. That's it. This is going on now to the point where a generation of young women genuinely believe that the men around them, even in kindergarten, year 1, year 2, all of these young people, they genuinely believe, and this does my fucking head in, it really breaks my heart. They genuinely believe that those young boys will grow up to assault them, attack them, and be violent towards them. And that's just not true. Some of them will. And what a bunch of but my poor.
No, he says some of them will, but not if you teach your kids right from wrong. God damn it. Well, what Isaac Butterfield is saying is that women are not going to grow up being afraid of men, and they're not even old enough to date or have kids yet. You're going to have white people growing up in a world of political correctness that have done nothing to black people, have no concept of racism or any of it, hating their own skin tone for something some fucking dickhead did 50 years ago. So it's like, we're not trying to be segregative. We're not trying to be racist or sexist or misogynistic or homophobic or any of that crap. But by doing all this crap, you kind of are to some degree. Because now everyone else has rights. It's like, now, okay, now we got to crap on the people who don't. It's like, no, dude, that's not equality. That's not fucking equality. Here's a thought. Instead of seeing us white men, cisgendered straights, what have you, as the enemy, why can't we come together and just be like, you know what? We're all colors of the rainbow. As long as you ain't a fucking sicko, who gives a shit?
It's not.
There's all sexualities and all kinds of races and all this other crap. And as long as you ain't a sicko, who gives a shit? As long as you ain't a racist, piece of shit, who gives a fuck?
Everyone with a penis. You can't blame an entire gender for one thing. That's not a.
Yeah, no, that's the truth, Butterfield. It's like, hey, if men were to blame women, all women, for a couple of women's shitty decisions, you'd hear the same argument I'm trying to make. It'd be like, hey, we're not all like that. Okay, that's only a couple of us. Stop.
at all. And then there's comments.
I'm also working on a comedy album called King Cobra's Funny Songs. When I made Wet Ass Farts, I then took time to fuck with Siri on my phone and make her cuss, flirt with me, and shit on my trolls. It's fucking gold, dude. I've already sent the 2 songs to Deathbed Tapes. I'll be making more songs for the comedy album, so get psyched for that, folks.
This. Because again, people never have to address male violence if they can point and cry that men successfully commit suicide more than women.
So that's just, you know why? Because no one gives a fuck about men and the stereotypes men have to endure, plus all the pressures of you have to be tougher than a female, otherwise you're a pussy. You can't show any fucking emotions, otherwise you're a little bitch boy. You can't drink a girly drink without someone calling you like a homophobic British cigarette or what have you, like whatever. It's stupid. It's like, hey man, what you drinking on there? A Long Island iced tea with like 8 different rums in it. It's all colorful and fruity. What a bitch drink. Why don't you man up and drink a Bud Light? It's like, why don't you mind your own fucking business? And the reason why men do that crap is because of how men are raised and how our society treats men. It creates a bunch of insecure assholes who have to always out macho other men, or should I say out stupid? Because that's testosterone's awesome, but it makes men do stupid shit.
Somehow we're supposed to sip. How fuck?
So basically, everything can be derailed. Somehow, we're supposed to simultaneously believe that men are stronger and are more capable, and also more fractious, fragile, and emotional. Well, this article is fucking stupid, but men are stronger physically. So because of that, people expect society and people expect men to be tougher, which in turn they expect women to be tougher than men. And sometimes it's not even about genetics. Sometimes there are more strengths than genetics, people. You got your physical strength, your mental strength, and your genetics. Okay? Those are the 3. Genetically speaking, yes, men are tougher than women. But when it comes to things like emotional strength and physical strength, that depends. Because there were some chicks who are like shredded as shit, and there were some dudes who look like fucking toothpicks. That being said, men tend to be a bit more emotional sometimes because they're not allowed to be emotional, and women can't handle it sometimes. It's the truth. But you know what kills me about this is, like, if women try to show any emotions, they're just nagging. They're probably on their period, right? If men try to show any emotions, they're a little bitch. They need to man up and stop being such a pussy. And at the end of the day, it's people being told you can't show any emotion when life is emotional. Like, what?
That's a fuck statement to make. Somehow we're supposed to simultaneously believe that men are stronger and more capable and also fractious, fragile, and emotional. We are, as you say, supposed to drop everything and leave our personal struggles to coddle them whilst keeping them on their pedestal so they.
Hey, you know what? If I'm feeling depressed, I don't expect you to coddle me, goddammit. Just to listen and help me through it. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let me ask you, to the bitch who wrote this fucking horrible article about male suicide being a joke, to the fucking cunt who wrote this article, fuck you to the moon. Okay? Women do not expect men to coddle them when they're on their fucking periods, all right? Just to be a bit more understanding, and if they ask for help and maybe a foot rub, shit. Make her feel pretty when she's bleeding out her vagina.
Continue to shit on us from above.
Jesus Christ. According to this woman, she women are, as you say, supposed to drop everything and leave their struggles to coddle the men while the men keep, while the men, what? This is all stupid. We are, as you say, supposed to drop everything and leave our struggles to coddle them while keeping them on their pedestals so they can continue to shit on us from above. Holy fuck. So, according to this chick, we're supposed to coddle men? Like, what? As a man who's white, straight, cisgendered, and autistic, I am so grateful for my privilege. Did I ask for it? Fuck. Uh, no. It's not because, oh, we're humans too and we get depressed. No, it's because we don't want to get dethroned off our male privilege. Man, get the oh, dude. Ladies, if there are any women watching me go live with this video right now, how would it feel if a man wrote an article about women's issues like this, calling it a joke and, just going off the rails about this shit? Like, oh, women are on a pedestal and they're nah, 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 nah. You'd fucking hate it too, man. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
How hurt are you? Who hurt you? There's so much.
That's what I'm asking. Like, who the fuck hurt this bitch on Reddit, dude? This fucking cunt who wrote this article.
Unpack there. Point and cry. Men are supposed to point and cry and say that, oh, we commit suicide more. The fuck? What the fuck is that? Are you fucking?
Oh my god! Because as soon as we do say that, as soon as we whine and say and point our fingers at women and go, no, our side does it more. When there's gonna be one fucking psychologically fucked woman who hates men so much that she's nope. She's gonna have to argue with you back and argue that women have it harder than men because of all the crap women go through. And men will say, no, we have it harder because the crap that we go through. Stop making it about a pissing contest of who has it harder and stop making it about gender. Jesus Christ. Women and men struggle with shit. So instead of comparing sob stories, we should be helping each other out. You know? That's the best way to prevent suicide is to help each other. It's the truth. When you got some fucking miserable cow of a woman going on subreddit, some bullshit subreddit, and they could be doing it for like a troll, kind of thing. But like these women who think male suicide is a joke, okay. To all the women who think male suicide is a joke, childbirth's a joke. Men can do it too now. I was being sarcastic, of course, but you know what I'm saying. Now, normally I would never say that about a woman because childbirth is a miracle, but I'm only saying this to piss off the women who wrote this shitty article about male suicide. That's the only reason I'm doing it. It's like, you want to be a little asshole? I can be one too.
Serious? And then there's.
Sorry, in the middle of a phone call. Nope, no phone calls. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Right now, I am streaming. Finish the video response. There we are.
Oh, what? So we're supposed to drop everything and look after you men because you can't deal with life? That is such a hateful thing to say.
They expect men to be tough and do everything like men do, So I think men are more than capable of being able to handle life. Could you imagine, though, if a man went on Reddit or YouTube or some social media platform and said all this crap about women not being able to handle their periods? That's why they're so whiny and emotional. You'd never hear the fucking end of it. I'm not trying to be a dick towards women. I have all the respect in the world for women. However, when you got women who are doing shit like this, no. Some women have my respect. If you're one of those women that hates men, you're contributing to the problem you bitch about because now you're gonna have the same man. And it's like, hey man, if you're tired of women hating you and why you can't get laid and you can't get a girlfriend, maybe you should start treating women like crap because it's the right thing to do, not because you want to get some plus. That should be a bonus to why you treat women with respect. Just saying.
Awful. Who speaks like that? When we're talking about something so serious, like suicide, like people being so depressed, anxious, PTSD ridden, they choose to
I don't care who you are. Like as far as gender goes, fuck suicide, man. If you're depressed, start a YouTube channel, reach out to people, talk to someone, dude. You get one person that cares, man. One person, dude. One person. And you know what's fucked off is I've had several trolls tell me to kill myself, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Fuck you, you jealous cunt. You get women who are just women and men who are just absolutely shit towards each other. And people like that they don't do anything good for the world, They don't really do anything good for the world.
Their own lives, and you, whoever wrote that, is carrying on like, oh, well, why do we have to worry about you? What about us? That's not the point, mate.
Yeah, that's where the whole Me Too movement gets a little toxic. When the Me Too whiny bastards start making it's about my struggle, not your struggle. No, the Me Too movement should be about we all struggle, and that's why we need to help each other. Because we all struggle with some shit. That's why the Me Too movement was created, not so you can have more oppression points than someone else. Fuck out of here.
It's not the point. The problem lies in this. For every woman that kills herself, 4 men die of suicide. That is a problem.
That is the statistics. For every one woman that kills herself, 4 men take her place and do the same. For every one incel piece of shit, fucking male beta cuck, soy boy, fucking woman-hating piece of shit, there's at least 4 feminazi, cunt, slag, whore, man-hating, fucking slag, skag, scab, fucking bitches who hate men. And like I said, the cycle, when people do this crap, the cycle never ends. So at some point, it's like, oh yeah, okay, complain about the way they treat your side and then do the exact same to them. That'll totally fucking fix everything.
We ignore, the wider that disparity will become. And it's shit like this that only makes that gap wider. Men's rights activists often dismiss women's suicide.
Men's rights activists often dismiss women's suicide attempts and say it's only done for attention, or that all women have social networks and support, so we suffer less from depression and suicide. I'm done with spending my time to raise awareness for people who don't give a shit about us. Men only want help but never return the favor. We are free to deal with this. They are free to deal with this on their own. Okay. This is exactly what I've been saying. We have to help each other. Fuck suicide. Men's rights activists feel like this because society, including women, do not give a fuck about men, while at the same time giving them more rights for a long time, so it creates an oppression gap. And when it does that, this is why you have women on fucking Reddit saying crap like that. You cannot expect men and men's rights activists to give a shit about women's rights if you're using women's rights to hate men and vice versa. This is not fucking rocket science, people. This is just basic human fucking decency.
Side attempts and say it's only done for attention, or that all women have social networks and support.
And to be fair, women do have more support than men. Ouch. Not trying to pick on women, but that's all it is.
Suffer less from depression and suicide. Who's saying that? Who the fuck is saying that? And if you don't know, a men's rights activist can be identified in one or two ways. It's a person that's like balls deep into just men's issues and they don't care about anyone else. And they only care about men. Or anyone who questions anything to do with feminism. That's also a men's rights activist.
There are 2 kinds of feminists and 2 kinds of men's rights activists. You have the feminists and the men's rights activists that genuinely care about the other side's issues and want equality. And then you have the extremes on either side, the incels and the feminazi cunts. And no one focuses on the good-hearted people who just want equality in the middle. These fucking assholes on either side overshadow it, man.
Basically, it's anyone with a dick. If you're watching this video and you slightly agree with me, You're a misogynist, you're a men's rights activist, and you're part of the problem. Welcome. I guess my point is, it is not only popular, but it's also appropriate, applauded, and for some reason, it is pushed upon people to hate men. And that's
Yeah, it's not just that. Society is now pushed upon to hate people who are straight, people who are white, people who are cisgendered, people who are men. And it's not just them getting hate. There's so much hatred in the fucking world anymore. Look at the gays in Saudi Arabia being forced to transition into women or risk getting executed. Look at the women in the fucking Middle East who live under Sharia law, dude. Look at all these poor refugees in Ukraine, Slava Ukrainia, motherfucker. But you know what I'm saying, YouTube? Fuck suicide, man. Fuck all the bullshit in our society.
fucking ridiculous. I'm done with spending my time to raise awareness for people who don't give a shit about us. Men only want help but never return the
This
favor.
is the problem, YouTube. When men and women feel like either side doesn't give a shit, they quit giving a shit too. And that just, like I said, continues the cycle. Now, I'm not saying you have to like everyone you fucking meet, but being a decent human being doesn't take much effort.
They are free to deal with this on their own. Could you imagine anyone saying that about women or about someone of a different color or someone who identified as a different gender or a disabled person? You never would. People would hunt that person down and call them out and say, look at this person hiding behind a fake name saying and spilling this shit on the internet. What a fucking asshole. But because it's about men, well said, sister. Yeah. In addition to this, I would also query the reasons for the higher suicide rate in men. Obviously, any human having so little hope in a better tomorrow and finding ending their life the only option is a sad occurrence. Yes, it does sound like you really care. But
In Aqua Veritas, capital I, lowercase n, capital A, lowercases c, q, u, a, capital V, lowercases ERITAS. There's their username. Have fun with that.
when the cause is mostly depression, feelings of inadequacy and loneliness, we must admit that it's partially the result of their own doing. Yeah, let's blame rape victims for what they wear out.
Oh my God. So this chick is now blaming male suicide on their own actions, saying the reason why they're depressed is because they caused it. What a fucking load of tosh. It's not because, fuck suicide, by the way, but like, it's not because, oh, hey, freaking, not because society's full of fucking miserable assholes who treat each other like crap. Yeah, could you imagine exactly my point, Butterfield? That's a bit far, but could you imagine blaming a rape victim for being raped? That's horrible. So if any man did that crap, he'd be the fucking biggest asshole piece of shit on the planet, but I mean, to some degree, yeah, that's why it is, permanent solution to a temporary problem. But honestly, fuck suicide, YouTube. But the only reason they commit suicide is because of their own actions, not because of they're depressed, Not because, there's contributing factors to this. So it's a yes and no kind of thing, but at the same time, fuck off, dude. Fuck suicide.
Their own doing. You fucking dumb. They created a patriarchal system where women are second-class humans. Maybe that was correct 50 years ago, but it's not anymore. Move past this shit attitude and this woe is me victim fucking complex you have, you child. But yeah, it's obviously women's duty to drop everything they're doing to get them out.
As a man, if I'm not asking any woman to drop everything they're doing, just be like, hey, you okay? How you feeling? What I'm saying? Like, fuck off, dude. You think men don't see it as a chore when women are being emotional? Fuck off, dude. Both sides need to knock their hypocritical bullshit off. Sarcastically, she writes,
the mess that they have created. Look at the advice men constantly give each other when they can't find a girlfriend or when they're angry. Hit the gym, bro. No one ever says, hey, you sound depressed, you have low self-esteem, go to therapy. Oftentimes going to the gym can be very, very beneficial. Not only does it make you feel better about yourself, but you are making yourself better over a period of time. And if you can't find a girlfriend, maybe that's because you fucking don't even like yourself. Why would anyone else like you? So you should work on yourself. And yeah, sure, throw therapy.
That's true for both women and men. But like, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell a woman to go to the gym because now you're fat shaming her. Tell a dude to go to the gym and work out. Well, different story, isn't it? Fuck fat shaming for that matter.
A mix. But oftentimes it's not just therapy. You need to work on a lot of things in your life. But the thing about all of these comments that I've read in this forum here, they're all from anonymous people. Every last one of them, anonymous names. They squarely blame men for all the problems in their life. That is the echo chamber that they live in. And this is only going to get worse. What happens in their home lives if
What happens when women and men stop blaming each other for the same fucking problems that they contribute and just work together as equals, not as man versus woman, as equals?
they've got a son? What happens to that son? And what happens to their daughters? Do they become radical?
See, that's just it. Okay, today's generation, men are being raised to hate their gender because they're a man, everything's their fault. Women are being raised to like fear men, even though they haven't had any experience with them yet, and it's horse shit.
As fucking little terrorists running around hating men? That's a scary thought. Okay, so we've come this far in the video. We've seen some anger. We've seen some just violent and angry fucking women. And I cut some bits out.
And fuck suicide, man. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Fuck suicide. It's not worth it.
through the script I wrote, like, fuck, I don't need to say this. I've got the point home.
And that's just why I don't go out of my way to be a jerk to women if I can help it, because they have it hard too, man. Sometimes harder.
These people hate men. We've got the point. Let's move away from them and let's actually care about our fathers, our sons, our grandfathers, us, ourselves. Let's look at the issue here, because men do kill themselves at an exceedingly large rate. Ridiculous. Why does that happen? Is it because of the patriarchy? Maybe. Maybe it has some things to do with the patriarchy and the way that men should be acting all the time. Maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe their father or their grandfather.
And no one calls it sexist when you're placing a gender-based role on men, which is exactly my point. Gender-based roles can go fuck themselves.
Taught them that they should never speak about their problems. They should never seek help. Maybe that's a leftover artifact from generations past that turns us into unemotional beings. And I think if that's you, if you feel like shit right now, if you've had problems in the past or you have them in the future with anxiety, depression, whatever it happens to be, PTSD, know this. All right, this dude here, successful comedian, sexy man, beard, etc. I went to therapy. I did. I had some severe anxiety and panic attacks on the daily, right? I still have them to this day. It's not as bad, but I went and got help. I went and saw a therapist. I saw my doctor. I did all the things that I needed to do. I made the changes in my life, and now I'm getting better. It's going to be a long road, and it's probably something I have to deal with for the rest of my life. But how's this? I talk to people. My family know about it. My partner knows about it. I do not suffer in silence, and that makes the journey through life easier. To understand why people have these problems, you have to look at other parts of their life, no doubt. Mine stems from my epilepsy. I have panic attacks because I worry about having seizures, like on stage. When I do comedy shows, I'm constantly anxious and freaking out about having an epileptic fit. Not that one's happened.
I'm not going to answer the door until my stream's over. Hold on a bloody second.
Long time, and I'm medicated for it, but I'm terrified of that. A lot of people see me on stage like doing sort of nervous things, like I change my eyes around, and that's not like a tic, it's like a nervous tic sort of thing. It's very, very weird, but that's just how my body's operating at the moment, and it is what it is. When I first started suffering from these issues, I think I was 23.
Yeah, YouTube, like, fuck suicide, man. It's not worth it. It could be worse, you know? You think you're depressed about some shit, you know, it could be worse. That's all I'm saying, you know?
I'm 29 now, and
I'm not going to answer the door until my stream's over, and we got just a couple more minutes left.
Happy birthday to me. I first started suffering from them 6 years ago, and for 2 years, even when I was making YouTube videos, I might have been 24, even when I was making YouTube videos, I looked calm, I looked like I was in control, but underneath, I was a fucking mess. Went to my doctor, sought help, went to a therapist, and I did a lot of other things. And that's what got me through that point in my life. But here's one thing for you. You might think, no, I don't need to see a therapist. What will my parents think? What will my partner think? Who gives a fuck? It's better than being dead. Go and see someone if you need to. I don't believe this idea that there's a stigma behind admitting you have a problem. The stigma now, because that's being defeated. The stigma now is seeking help, changing things. That's the stigma. And hey, if you change...
fucking... Okay, so here's the scoop. My trolls have set up a dating profile, and they've been sending people I'm not into my door and shit. That's cyber stalking and harassment and sexual harassment. And I'm not gonna get mad about it because it just shows you my trolls are fucking gay. Yep.
Diet, and you go to the gym and you see a therapist and you work through it, you try meditation, you try everything, and still you can't get through the fucking day without feeling like a big piece of shit.
Yeah, and you don't see me tracking down the personal identities of my fucking trolls and setting up fake dating profiles in their fucking name and then doxing their address on top of the dating profile, having like random gay dudes show up to their house, because to me that's being way too invested into my haters. I would rather invest my time in being a good person, getting better at guitar, and changing the world, while these miserable fucks sit there in their mom's basement laughing their ass off. But that's all you guys have, you know, these trolls.
And you hate your life and you want to end it, there may be medications to go. And I know a lot of people don't like that, and there's a huge stigma around that, but once again, it's better than being fucking dead. So why do men kill themselves?
Like, Cobra didn't even get mad, I just laughed at him like, wow, dude, my trolls are more immature than I am. Holy shit.
Why every single day are there 9 people that commit?
This is why I own my fucking trolls on YouTube, because I do not spend this much time fucking with them. All I have to do to fuck with these trolls is go live and not say a fucking word. Just be like, haha, I got 40,000 subscribers and you don't.
And 7 of them are men. That's more than people die in car crashes, by the way. Is it the extreme loneliness that some men face? Is it the way the family court systems treats them? Is it the way that their father treated them or their mother treated them? Is it a whole different range of things? Could it be anything? Could it be the fact that more men than women work away at mining camps and they're so fucking lonely, or they work longer hours? Is it something to do with that? Is it because men are more likely to join the army? And
it's not supposed to make me depressed or angry. If anything, it just makes me laugh. It shows you I'm famous. Otherwise, they wouldn't try this hard to fuck with me.
PTSD or emergency services and suffer from PTSD. People don't even think like that. They don't even think about those issues. They only say it's masculinity that's the problem. Maybe it's the lack of masculinity that's the problem. Maybe because it's being removed from society and culture and men's lives, maybe that's why they're killing themselves. Femininity is celebrated and yet masculinity is seen as true evil. But men face issues and they're not tied to masculinity. They're just not. More men than women find themselves on the streets, homeless, find themselves addicted to drugs, to alcohol, to prescription medications, find themselves in jobs where they die. More men die at work than women. They work harder jobs.
But congratulations, trolls. You have no life. This guy is straight for of-age women, and the trolls on the internet are just doing it to get a reaction. Like, they want to see Cobra flip out and get pissed off and start acting all homophobic. And it's like, nah, he just clowns your asses, man.
Dangerous jobs. They're more likely to die at an earlier age because they work themselves to the bone. So yeah, just because men have a ball sack and a cock doesn't mean that they're bad people. Masculinity is not a bad thing. We need to work out what the real issue here is, and taking it seriously is the first step. Testosterone's not the problem either. This earth that we live on, it was built on the back of testosterone. It is not the issue. Gentlemen, your life is valued. It's not valued by any.
The earth we live in was not only built off of testosterone, but also in the yin-yang effect, the help of women as well. Like the world we live in was built off of the backs of prehistoric humans and good genetics for both sides.
Else, it's valued by me. I meet a lot of people that have had issues, and these videos have helped them. That's why I continue to make them. If you need assistance, go and see your GP, go and see your therapist, change your life. This is the step. Start tomorrow. Stop fucking around. Suicide is never the option. All right?
Yeah,
love you,
fuck
gents.
suicide,
I hope you have a good afternoon. And ladies as well, of course. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. Toodle wah. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the video. Your support means absolutely everything. If you haven't subscribed, do it right now. You keep me dogs fed, and I love you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, there's 3 new videos on this channel every week. And if you want more, you can head over to Little Butts Man, which is the 2nd channel. Ladies and gentlemen, there is more. What about the podcast each and every week? It's available on Spotify and YouTube as well. And I'm also on tour right now around the country doing my show, Cancel Me Now. Stand-up comedy is back, ladies and gentlemen. And please, for Christ's sake,
I don't need my trolls' help to get laid. You know what I'm saying? I'm King Cobra JFS. Everybody in this goddamn town knows who the fuck I am. I walk into a fucking bar and I got chicks checking me out, dude. It's the truth, dude. Like, if that just shows you that Cobra wins. You don't see me trying this hard to fuck with my trolls.
follow me on Instagram. I'm very lonely.
It's fucking
Love you.
hilarious,
Bye.
dude. I'm laughing at this shit. Oh, man. Laughing at the trolls because they're dumb, but on some real serious shit, fuck suicide, dude. It's the truth.
There we go. And then
You gotta laugh at how fucking hypocritical these man-hating women are about this crap and about how dumb your trolls are. It's just another day in the life, dude. But anyways, tubes, do appreciate you all watching the stream, and I'll catch you later.